What's up, my witches? Testing 1 2. Welcome everybody. Welcome Darcy and Stephanie and Tavia and Roxanne. I'm so happy to be here. What's up, my witches? Hold on, wait a minute. Yeah, that's the one thing I forgot. Okay. I made it here by a hair. And by a hair, I mean it. We have storms coming in, and I can feel it. I can feel the pressure dropping, and so I've had like little woozy spells and things, and it's also Mercury retrograde. When I was young, in my 20s, and had all kinds of pass out attacks, I started tracking it, and it was always during a Mercury retro. So it fucks with my system. Hi, baby Joe. Hi, Fran. Hi, Catherine. Hi, Ellen. I'm so glad you guys are here. So glad to see you. Wow. It's been a month, but I mean, it's been a year. This year's been a year, right? But it's also been a month. And hello, Marilyn. Oh my goodness. Thank you, dear. Welcome. I'm so happy to have you here, and thanks for jumping into the chat. We can't welcome you properly if we don't see you. Anyhow, the car accident on the 20th, and last Friday, we got our new car, and we had to buy it on a Mercury retro. We had to, and we found something so far beyond what we were looking for, and it's amazing. It's a Hyundai Santa Fe wagon with all the bells and whistles. Very lightly driven. It's 11 years old. It looks like it's brand spanking new until you look close and see a little ding here, a little ding. But it has the best stereo. One of the reasons we grieved Daria so hard. So we had a little Ford Focus, a little red Ford Focus that we got after the last time somebody pulled a bonehead move in front of my husband. She was a great little car and had the best stereo we'd ever had. So when we're having to replace her, it's like, oh, Aria, we're going to miss you. So when we had to replace her, we put out our wish list for number 1, best vehicle possible, please, And remind me to tell you about the talisman deck the night before. But I said, please make it so we don't have to let go of anything that we had with Aria. We don't have to lose anything we had, just more and better, And boy, did we get it. Tam and I went to the store, put on the stereo, cranked it up. It's like, yeah, it sounds great. But he started messing around with the settings, and it's like surround. And I went, oh, hit that. And he did. And I was like, oh my God, I'm singing. And I started crying. I mean, the stereo made me cry. I think it was gratitude and relief, actually, that look what we have after the chaos we just went through. But I wanted to tell you what I did with the Talisman Oracle. If you haven't seen that, there's a video on my channel. I love this deck so much. And the night before we went looking, it's like, let's, shuffle the cards, and we were feeling under the gun and pressured and everything else. And I did my 6th card, and I got financial security, balanced emotions, and then safe travels. Safe travels. And it's like, okay, we're connected. And when you're doing readings, it is really cool to have something that you communicate to your deck that will let you know when you've connected. Because sometimes, and this has only happened a handful of times in my reading career, but just lay things out and it's like, this ain't it, and pull them up and reshuffle. I think I've done it once or twice on live streams, but when you do a reading like that and there's a very specific topic in mind, and you get something like financial security and safe travels, but then balanced emotions in the middle about, being able to spend what we need to spend so we have a safe vehicle, so we, and coming back into equilibrium after, what could have been tragic. And then I got success and change. Yes, and the bottom was knowledge. And that is still kind of revealing itself to me. but it's like, the knowledge that I have when you have to buy a car in a Mercury Retro to do the work ahead of time, and then to understand, you know, just step up and be responsible. We had to buy it on a retro, so we're going to buy a warranty. We're going to do these things to cover your ass too. So then I took that Talisman Oracle, and each one of the cards in the book has a sigil. And it comes with a little envelope full of little pieces of vellum that you can trace those sigils on. So I traced the sigils of all 6 cards, and I made a magical scroll. And Samantha, my dear, which she's not here yet, oh darn, had given me a couple of rolled beeswax candles, and I burned a pink one and sealed it with the pink one, and then tied it with a pink silk ribbon, and triple knotted and everything else. And I was going to take it, and first of all I thought, we'll find the car, we'll burn it. And I thought, no, I'm going to put it in the car, safe travels. Well, when we went back the next morning to actually purchase the car, it went walkabout. I had it, and then it was gone. So it's like, okay, the universe claimed it. That energy was supposed to go out and be dispersed. So, and then we got this fantastic vehicle, and it's been thoroughly gone over, and there's just nothing wrong with it. So it's amazing. And again, so much gratitude, so much gratitude. So I appreciate anybody that was sending good vibes and prayers, and thank you so very much for thinking of us and sending something our way. Let's see, if you are here, deal with some more housekeeping business. If you're here for the first time and you would like to join in the chat, please make sure you're subscribed. Then you have to wait a whole minute until you can join the chat, but come join us. Yeah, I mean, it's like do the spell work, and plus, full moon and stuff. It's like, here we go. Let's do the spell work. So, I'm very, very happy, and we're both Cliff and I. It's like, yes, this is magic. This is the way it works. But we're both kind of like, because it happens so fast that it's kind of head spinning, and you have to sit and go, is this too good to be true? Are we being stupid? Did we really is this really the deal we think it is? So. So anyhow, we are almost through that crisis. Now we have negotiations going on. And how are you? How the hell are you? Is this retro as brutal to you? It's really hitting me physically very hard. And my shoulder, thank God I go get shots tomorrow. I get just a plain cortisone shot, Toradol shot, anti-inflammatories, because this shoulder is just, it's so bad, you guys. It's so bad. So, anyhow, yeah, it's been hitting me physically. I thought I got everything set up. I felt really good all day, and I had a dip like right around 5:30, and it was like, I don't know if I can do this. I feel like shit. And I kept plugging, and now I don't feel like shit. So here I am. I want to ask a favor of you. After we do, we'll do our grounding and everything in the beginning, but I have been doing the thing that I do on these lives, which is forgetting to close it down, forgetting to say thank you at the end and close everything down. So if you would help me with that, I would really appreciate it. Okay, well, let's get it going. I have my coffee. It's been terribly warm, and tonight is the storms coming through that are going to drop the temperature. And I mean, we have not had anything like anybody else has had. We haven't even had temperatures into the 90s. A couple of times they've said, 91 or something, and it ended up being 87 instead. So again, gratitude, serious gratitude. Hey, Luna, good to see you. Thank you, my dear. Yeah, they go out of joint. They go slightly out of joint, and then they pinch. So anyway, enough about that. Let's introduce. Okay, how do I do this? It's been so long, you guys. I have looked back, and I've done no more than 2 lives each month through the summer. And I mean, it's summer, and I know everybody goes out and does stuff, so hopefully it hasn't really been noticed. But I takes me a while to get back into it. Anyhow, let's start where things start. You've got some sacred wood that you can burn. Please do. I offer this out. It's purifying smoke, sage. By air and fire. You may be purified and charged. And by water and earth, may you be blessed, made whole. And by the sound of the bell, may the spirit awaken. I'm noticing, because my body is so very sensitive right now, just that soft bell made my skin tingle. Let's do it again. Let that sound clear any negativity out of your space, any harmful excess or deficiency. I like to think of the sound of the bell, that pure tone, just going out and just lining everything up, lining up the energies, aligning the molecules, aligning everything. I'm going to ring it a little bit louder one more time. So just settle back into your chair. Oh, wait. Guides and guardians, allies and ancestors, thank you for being here. Every minute of every day, I cannot invoke you because you are with me, always, always, always. Pardon me, I hope you didn't hear that. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for opening my mind. Thank you for whispering in my ear. Thank you for protecting us. Thank you for your absolutely tangible protection. I offer you fresh water. I offer you the fire of Azrael. And now, settle down into your seat, into the bed, whatever's holding you up right now physically. Just settle into that surface. Hold on. I gotta scooch you up a little bit. Okay. So if you're sitting up, please make sure your feet are flat on the floor. And you can sit in lotus position, but it is best to have your feet, your ankles, your wrists uncrossed, everything just each, aligned down each side. And as you settle into that surface, I want you to feel the pull of gravity. And in response to that gravity, you feel your muscles relax. As you feel that gentle pull, you say, okay, your muscles say, all right, yes, I will surrender to you, Mother Earth. I will surrender to you, gravity. And just feel yourself sinking into the surface. Feel your muscles getting soft and relaxed. Feel your muscles breathing. Breathing out toxins, breathing out anything that is not part of you. And take some nice full deep breaths, starting with an out breath. Breathe all the way out and feel your diaphragm kind of squeeze in the middle of your belly to get all of the air out of your lungs. And then just relax your belly and feel the air flow in so easily, and then pull it in easily and deeply. Filling up your lungs from the bottom to the top, and then let the air spill out. All the way out, and continue breathing like that at your own pace. It is best to breathe out of your nose, in through the nose, out through the nose. The timing of it gives time for your lungs to absorb the oxygen. And just as taking in air through the nose warms things and filters, the cilia filter things out, exhaling through the nose also takes things at a pace that is optimal. And with each and every breath, you can feel yourself getting more relaxed. It's almost like there's a, I don't know what to say, like a light that's flowing through your muscles, a warmth. As they relax and you feel the blood flow more easily, you feel your capillaries open up, feel your skin grow a little bit warmer, but your muscles are feeling warm and soft and juicy. And yet each one of them is capable of doing its job, holding your body in alignment. I want you to pay special attention to your face now. Start with your forehead like it's your hairline, and just pay attention to those muscles in your forehead and see them softening, flattening out, smoothing out. And as that happens, it flows down into your eyebrows and your temples, and then all the teeny tiny little muscles around your eyes. On the outside and also behind, just melt. And you feel it going down the bridge of your nose, very relaxed. And then into your cheeks, your upper jaw, your upper lip. And then you feel this hinge at the back of your jaw loosen, and you feel your back teeth separating, so there's a space between them. You feel your tongue drop down into the bottom of your mouth. And then you feel even your chin, all the muscles in your jaw and your chin, these are the strongest muscles in your body, and you let them relax. And now feel it go up and over your head and down the back of your head into your neck, another big problem spot. All of those muscles around your ears, relax. And then down your neck, front and back, relax. The tops of your shoulders, relax, and that begins a flow that goes down your arms. Feel relaxation in every finger. And the palms of your hands as well. You know, they're always so clenched. So let the palms relax and open up. And let your fingers just be soft and easy. And then the flow starts down into your torso, down into your upper chest in the front and your upper back behind. Feel everything relaxing. You might want to move your shoulder blades. And then let it move down into the level of your solar plexus, front and back. This is where your belly moves in and out easily when you're breathing, and your mid-back relaxes. And let that flow down into your low back and into your pelvis in the front. Feel your butt cheeks relax. Unclench your sphincters. And then let that flow down your thighs, front and back. And your knees and your shins and your calves all the way down. It rushes down to your toes. So relaxing. And now let's pay attention to the base of your spine. Feel that chakra open up. And this chakra is between front and back. So, twixt winds and waters. And open that center up and send a root down into the earth. We're coming up to a balance point in September, so neither hot nor cold as it goes down into the earth. Depends on which side you're approaching it from. But all is in balance, and just feel it, sense it, watch it flow down into the earth and connect with all the nutrients there, with the density. Feel yourself anchored and held. If you need to send runners out to the cardinal directions, you can do that. And with this connection, any last thing that you're holding on to still, you can let that drain. And anything that you have in your body energies, and it's like, I just don't know what to do with them. Well, let them go down the drain. And then you feel earth energy start to rise up that root. Feel that flow get established. Watch how it follows your breath. As you take an in-breath, it rushes up. And it keeps rising with the out-breath, but a little bit slower. And feel it come up that root. And just pay attention and notice when it connects with your physical body. You might actually feel it when it connects with your aura. But you certainly feel it when it connects with your physical body. Let it flow up in, and as it comes into your legs, it rushes down to the bottoms of your feet. And then it flows up through your pelvis and low back, solar plexus, mid back, upper chest, upper back, rising to the level of the shoulders, where it rushes down your arms to your fingertips. And then rising up into the neck, into the head, touching every single atom in your body and the spaces between. And release the breath on the next in-breath. Inhale and bring up that earth energy. Make it really, really bright and vibrant. And then release only the breath. We do this 2 more times. Inhale. Bright, sparkling green and gold. Exhale, just the breath. And 1 more. Brighter, and exhale through the crown. Feel it shoot up and then cascade down around, making an egg or a sphere that comes all the way around you, touches the ground or the floor, and sinks down. It sinks down as far as it went up above your head. That's how far it goes before it connects then around that root. Feel this circuit and know that it keeps going even when you're not thinking about it. And now we open up to the cosmos and we connect with cosmic energy, star energy, planet energy, energy of creation, energy of the void, energy of the vast, limitless universe. And as we connect, the blue and silver energy flows down. And this is so light, it's like as soon as it connects with your aura or your physical body, it is instantly in your entire body connecting with that earth energy, and you feel yourself getting even warmer, maybe even some chills and tingles. And that blue silver energy just connecting everywhere in your body with the green gold, and let a little bit of it go out the root chakra all the way down till it meets your sphere, your egg, and then it comes back up the outside and out into the universe again. And now on the next inhale, as you exhale, push out a layer and feel it instantly connect with everyone else that is intending this in the moment that they are intending it. We are connected. Our personal spheres filter out anything that does not belong to us, but what we put out there is our very best energy. We put out what we have, and it's the other people's boundaries that filter out what they don't need. But we give our best. And into this space, invite, invoke your deities, your ancestors. And we welcome them here with great gratitude, and I offer some more of the fire of Azrael. Alrighty, let's meet our decks. Let's see. Hi, Maruda and Luna. Yes, it is the same with the rest of my body. I do have EDS. Yeah, I mean, I was the double jointed kid that could, twist everything. I've got so much arthritis now, I can't do the thumb thing anymore, but I can bend each of my fingers behind the other fingers. It's pretty gross looking, but body tricks. Anyway, I want to ask, I'm sure since no one said anything, I am assuming that the drums are in good balance with the voice. So once again, I will invite you guys, when I get to closing things down, somebody say, hey, close the circle, if I haven't done it already. Anyhow, let's meet them. Our first deck here is the Earth Magic Oracle cards by Stephen D. Farmer. And that is a Hay House deck. Then we have the Oracle of the Trees. This is author Francesca Romana Valenti, illustrated by Mariuccia D'Angio. And then we have the Herbal Tarot by Michael Tierra, herbalist, and Candice Kenton, artist. This is one of the decks that's been in my collection so long that I forget it's there. That's such a good name. And then we have the Somnia Tarot by Nicholas Bruno. I just put up the unboxing for that on Monday. I'm glad, Catherine. I want you to be able to hear them, but I know sometimes, balance. All right. This is the video that I just put up this afternoon, the Sacred Vision Oracle cards by Lynn V. Andrews and Robert Taylor. Fabulous deck. And if you haven't watched that video, that was a $5 deck from Books A Million. And I don't know if your Books A Million, if you have one near you, would have the same decks, but they were on clearance. And 3 copies of Froude's Fairies for $5 each. Just insane. And I have gotten at a previous, and I haven't unboxed either one of them, but I got 2 other Delete Bin decks from Books A Million. And, $5, $7. It's like, wow. So, and then our last one is Forest of Enchantment Tarot by Lunea Weatherstone and illustrated by Marela Allwood. And I noticed after I got these decks out, everything is very organic. Earth magic and trees and herbs and the Forest of Enchantment and the Sacred Visions. And then we got the Somnia Tarot. So Somnia is here to represent the dark side. Okay, and the stuff that we're trying to ignore. All righty, right, darling, are we going to play again? Okay, so Astro Dice. And this time, when I was asking the decks what order they wanted to be in, which number they wanted, and I always start with the first deck that hollered at me. And it gets to pick first. And I went through the decks and they went 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pretty awesome. Okay. And those drums, by the way, if you did not know, there is a playlist on my channel called Mother Drum. And on it is the entire CD that I recorded of a longer grounding meditation. And the stuff that we used to do to open our mother drums, and then there's the 3-beat and 4-beat heartbeat drummings that you hear during my live streams. And so it's there for you. Enjoy. All right. really have to consciously relax. Wow. Okay. Saturn in Aries, and I was talking about Mercury retrograde, but it's not just Mercury. There's what, 6 of them now? 5? I know 2 of them like did a crisscross, but yeah, there's a hell of a lot retrograde right now, like half of everything. So it really is review time. It's internal time. And I wonder if that's why I get so very sensitive, because my mental faculties sort of, you know, go underground and everything gets very internal. And so I feel things more. I don't know. Anyway, Saturn in Aries that packs a wallop. That is someone who can execute and nothing will stop them, right? Saturn is executive ability. It's structure. It's authority. It's tradition and delay and denial. It's the Lord of Karma. So all of that, that ripening process, things coming of age. Saturn represents age. So old age and responsibility, you know, authority, responsibility, that double-edged sword. And in Aries, a fire sign, you know, a cardinal fire sign, it happens in the now. And Saturn is at home in a cardinal sign because Capricorn is a cardinal sign. So it is in the now and fiery. I'm going to tell you what needs to be done in no uncertain terms, and you better toe the line. You know, discipline is Saturn. And this is in the 2nd house, so we're talking about money and values and physical possessions. Everything that you consider mine is what comes under 2nd house. So, so yeah, becoming an authority and doing what you have to do, being responsible with your resources, but making decisions, being the executive. Here's where it's going to go and it's going to happen now. And, you know, getting your value system straight and making sure that you show what you value by being responsible for it, by investing in it, investing your time, your energy, you know? So I think I won't go much farther with that. We'll put you there and we'll move her up a bit here. Did you see my new labradorite globe? It's not really shining right now. It's got a fabulous blue thingy in it. All right, we'll play. Hi, oh yeah, Tavia, you've been here. Never mind. Saturn can slow impulsiveness. Okay. I look at it more of the sign coloring the planet. Aries does value self, absolutely. And so what would that be? Self-responsibility. You know, self-responsibility. And yes, Saturn can bring that influence to the 2nd house and slow down. You're absolutely right. Don't listen to me tonight. Anyway, slow down, make you take your time and decide. But that Aries is going to be pushing it from behind or hauling on it from the front, you know, because Mars then rules Saturn. So passion and drive and motivation are going to rule discipline. So, all right, let's see how this plays out. Let's see who's up first. Ooh, nice. Nice, Luna. Okay, so number 4 is coming up first. Hi, Arise. The Somnia comes out first. So we'll get the Dark and Dire first. This is a chunchy deck. Boy. And yes, Mercury does rule the hands. And things we do with the hands. I'm going to split and pick for a lot of the decks tonight because I didn't do a lot of riffle shuffling because it hurts. So, all right. And I have my Saturn in my 2nd house, so I do want to go back to that. My experience with it is no such thing as a free lunch. It tends to be the money that I get and resources I get are things because I have worked for them. very rarely have I had the experience of, pardon me, a freebie out of the blue, you know? So Saturn in the second house slows down, and it puts conditions on. So Saturn things are conditional. It puts conditions on the flow of money, and the conditions for me are, you know, it's karma, action and reaction, cause and effect. So where the resources come from is the work that I do. And the other effect is I can squeeze a penny till it absolutely screams for mercy. So we can get very aggressive in that, in stockpiling and thinking about the future, thinking in the long term. Saturn's the long term. Okay. For crying out loud, I had broccoli for dinner. I'll say no more. Hi, Marcy. Hey, I'm glad you're here. Yay. Okay. So, okay, that was emphatic. We have the Four of Cups. Look at my little Labrador. Okay. This Four of Cups is so very interesting because he is yoked with these buckets full of water. And you can tell because the water's falling out of them. And he's blindfolded. His hands are behind his back. We don't know if they're tied or not, but they're behind his back, so he's not using them. And he is so internal that he doesn't see the rope that's stretched between these two buckets that he's about to trip over. So 2 more buckets representing emotion. And they're going to trip him up because he's not paying attention to them. He's not acknowledging them. He's just so weighed down, bearing the emotional burden that he has. So, all right. I almost took that off. I'm going to take that off the top. The Knight of Coins. I'm going to push you back just a little bit. You just a little bit. All right. Knight of Coins and the Moon. Okay, the Knight of Coins is going back to our second house stuff here. He is responsible. The Knight of Coins frequently talks to me about leveling up, taking on new responsibilities, that realization of, oh, this is mine to do, and then taking that on with a will, but slowly, methodically, steadily. All of the horses in this deck are the horses that stand still, but in every other deck, the Knight of Coins is the one that doesn't go anywhere. Then we have the Moon over here. So this emotional burden here is throwing us into the subconscious, and through habit, the Moon in astrology rules habits. Through habit of dealing with the emotions that have weighed us down, we just go into this mode of trudging through, you know? So what's called for here, I'm going to keep taking off the top because we're rocking. Here's Death. And here's Ace of Swords. Wow. All right, I'm not going to take the next one yet. Okay. So Moon, these deep habits and emotional habits. And, you know, our emotional habits kind of get ingrained in us when we have trauma that repeats, you know, when we're living with codependent people, or we've got an abuser in the family, or we work in a toxic workplace and we're having to, you know, just adapt ourselves to deal with this toxic situation. And we can just get so unconscious about the way we're dealing with these things through sheer repetition that it becomes habit. And then anytime something happens that triggers, then we go back into this mode, you know? So we have then Death here in Ace of Swords, which says, cut that shit out. Cut that shit out. So the Death card, of course, an ending, sometimes a painful ending, but it's an ending of something that will never come back. And Ace of Swords is that beginning that comes because of what you get rid of. So we need to slice it off at the knees, which means that we need to do some We need to take some responsibility and level up our skills of doing some traveling in this unconscious realm so that we can discover what's there that's just become codified, and habitual, and we're not doing it by choice anymore. We're just doing it by rote. And then the last thing we have, looky there, Two of Swords. So, decision to be made, indeed decision to be made. But look, he's got a blindfold, she's got a blindfold. It's hard. Well, this is a perfect thing for Mercury retrograde, though, because it is difficult to deal with practical things. Mercury deals with the logistics, day to day, the how everything runs, scheduling things, how we move through our world and our landscape. When it goes retrograde planets' energies are not as available to us on that practical level. So this is where we go into the review. So we don't have access to that clean, crystal clear, logical thing that the Ace of Swords can also talk about. But it's a good time to go and look at these, these pernicious patterns that are still swimming around in the subconscious. And depending on how much work you've done, this can be just like a little veneer or just an odd thing that gets triggered now and again, Or it can be that maybe you're just starting to delve into these things, and so these habits are everywhere. Wherever it is for you, Mercury retro is a great time to go swimming in that watery realm and find what's there that is ready to go. Take responsibility for that thing on a very practical level. So what does that mean? That means doing some meditation, doing something actually, using a skill. And not just meditation, but ritual, a skill of ritual. Make a scroll and burn it. Do that. Do your spell work. But Two of Swords down here, she, my number one meaning for her is, I don't want to know. Denial. However, I have been adding layers in recent years, and both of these can say that in order to access that inner, we have to close off the outer a bit. It's kind of like, when you're dreaming, having a really intense dream, and you wake up and you can just watch it go, no, come back, and you can't get it. As soon as you let in the external senses, as soon as you let in, especially vision, especially sight, as soon as you let that in, you are pulled away from the subconscious realm. So these blindfolds here are actually saying to me that it is time to, again, go internal. That's the best use of all of this retrograde energy. It says I protect myself so that I can go deep, so that I can see things with my inner eyes. And then it also indicates that there's a decision to be made. Once we discover things, there are decisions to be made. And here's Two of Cups, the Empress. Okay. There certainly is help. And so, as a family, maybe you can talk to your partner and tell them the work that you're kind of doing, maybe do some of it together. And then the Empress, look at her stitching things back together. These two certainly talk about the love that is around you and the very practical, concrete support that you have. So when we do this, when we pay attention to the Death card and the Ace of Swords and we cut that shit out, things become more balanced. Here he looks like he doesn't really have a choice but to be, trudging and blindfolded and weighed down and everything. Here it looks like she has total choice. Her arms aren't bound. She's holding these swords and saying, come no further, here's the work I'm going to do behind these swords. And here we have a lot of support. Reach out, ask for that support. Connect in with the love you have so that you can free yourself during this retro period. I think, hey, Somnia, you rock. All right, Tay. Wow. Octavia, honey, I feel you. Um, bringing the fire. Yeah, baby. Alrighty, who's up next? Number 5. My voice wants to go so very low tonight. It wants to go way down here. All right. Sacred Vision cards. I don't quite know because, they've got writing on the back and they've got this. So I'm going to hold the images upright. And the artwork in this deck. So as soon as we're done here, go watch the video. Yeah, so what else can the Two of Swords talk about? Twos are balance, and the Two of Cups over here as well. It's kind of like that Four of Cups broke down into the Two of Swords and the Two of Cups. So this brings in the partner, this brings in the doing your own internal work, and then, getting aided and comforted by your loved ones. The Empress sort of, there's Death in the Empress here, and there's also Moon in the Empress. So psychic stuff, all your womanly wiles. Yes, men, you have them too. You have them too. Okay. I'm gonna split and pick. So I had broccoli for dinner, I have it in my teeth, and I have the burps. Yay! I'm sure you wanted to know that. So, legacy, focus, destiny. Ooh. Legacy and destiny are an interesting pair, aren't they? Legacy, destiny. Legacy is what is passed down. Destiny is what is before you. So we focus on where we've come from. What is the legacy of our ancestral line? What is the legacy of their culture? The legacy of the circumstances of my life, that, maybe the ancestral toxic patterns that have been handed down. Or just, this wants to go broader. In the unboxing I did, I talked about the earth, and this is what they still want to talk about. So legacy is, what kind of earth are we going to leave? What was left to us, and what are we going to leave to the next generations? And because this deck is so very First Nations, the 7 generations concept comes into my mind. If you sometime do a meditation on that, on what it's going to look like, 7 generations. You might go back a few generations to kind of look at the overlap, and get you rolling. But then look down the line, and my line is stopping here, so I don't have grandchildren. And so legacy, my legacy is to my children. And then our legacy is going to be what we give to the earth, what we give to others, and how that might resonate and feed the Mallory Commission. So I read that. I was looking at that when I unboxed the deck. This is the author's or the artist's daughter. And this ship with the parents talking about the things that they brought to their children and what they have to give. Focus is the tents are rockin'. Life is a divine dance to the music we hear and make. Fast, erratic drum beats segue to soothing, erotic darkness. Fast, erratic drum beats segue to soothing, erotic darkness with bells. Okay. There we go. Stop and listen to the music, not of the ear, but of the heart, the practice of the true musician. How does your heart describe you as its host? How does your heart describe you as its host? That's a meditation for another time. Are you a true dreamer whose light shines through the weavings of existence? Or are you a magnificent wild horse tethered to a merry-go-round? Be your heart and let it tell you who you are. Waves of music linger in echoes around you. Mount your wind horse and gallop from your heart through your arms and fingers, beyond all tethers, into the freedom of creation. Heed the eagle's call of the wild. And as you can see, that's red, so in the south. Wow. So much more than focus, you know? And then destiny. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Okay, so I'm sure we've all heard that, and we think about it very literally, that when I'm ready, you know, this teacher's going to show up. But yes, that's half. The other half is those teachers are already there. You just don't know it until you're ready. You don't recognize them until you're ready. So there you go. Look at her holding the key here. The key to destiny. Let's read. Honored, and this is the East. These are both the East. Honored and humbled, we are all entrusted with the human legacy, the opportunity to generate light, peace, love, and beauty in this magnificent Garden of Eden. Mother Earth. Garden of Eden, comma, Mother Earth. I hope you're laughing. Each of us is born with a destiny, a purpose written before we even took our first breath. It is the unique thread that we contribute to the whole of life, but we must always be in a state of becoming. I'm thinking about natal charts here and how myriad of ways they can ultimately manifest. You know, they are raw energies and they can manifest in any number of ways. And so it's not, here's your destiny and that's it, you know, written in stone. There's such a wide variety of things of ways you can fulfill that destiny. Okay. Though we cannot change what we are always changing who we are. How interesting is that? We promote our potential into the actual and seek the wisdom of others along the way. That's Somnia reading. Do you have a mentor or teacher? Do you recognize the wealth of lived experience around you, that of the living as well as that of our ancestors? You are never alone. Great Spirit has been with you all along. If you can be anything you desire, what does that look like? What makes your unique light shine the brightest? Find where the wild ones meet, that timeless realm of spirit and love from which we all were born. All it takes is pure silence and an open heart. Okay, so tapping into legacy, tapping into destiny, and you don't need your natal chart to know your destiny. It's in your heart. It's those things that just won't ever go away, no matter how somebody tells you they're wrong or you discount them. You know, there's something in you that you've always wanted. Hopefully you're doing it. But then we focus in on, wait a minute. Harmony. Okay. So when we focus on the gifts we've been given, and that last reading, we were talking about some of the toxic legacies, you know, things that have been handed down. Now let's look at the positive ones. Look at the talents that you've been given. Look at, even your looks, your constitution, your intelligence, your love of whatever, you know, the legacy, the things that were instilled in you genetically, the things that were instilled in you by experience in your upbringing, the positive things, all right? And then we look at destiny, and when we bring those two things, and what do I want to bring to the earth? How has that informed me so that I can tap in and have the drive and passion and the responsibility to put my values out into earth in the form of my gifts. And then down here, we have harmony. Sound such as the Big Bang is simply the movement of air, equivalent to breathing, an act of giving life. Creation. A handmade flute, a rattle with crystals, a sacred pipe and drum, nature's voice expressed through human instruments. Music rings the bells in your heart. It opens you to movement and joy. You are in transformation through creativity. Find the secret of meditation and inner harmony by being in an alert stillness. So we're talking about music, and I was talking about how that stereo in that car made me cry. And it wasn't the stereo in the car. It was the fact that I was surrounded by music, goosebumps all the way, and able to sing at the, sing freely without, I can hear myself, but everybody is so surrounded by music that I can sing loud and it's not going to bug anybody else in the car. Just that freedom of voice. And I haven't sung this whole summer because I haven't been able to play. I mean, I sing in the car, but I haven't for, 3 weeks been singing, at least more than that. Anyway, just that freeing of the voice, the breath, the way it makes you breathe, and the vibration that you put out. It does great things for your vagus nerve. Make music with whatever you have. And this is part of the human condition too. No matter what circumstances you put us in, we find things to turn into instruments. You have from, way back with Neanderthals and, smacking bones together, making flutes out of bird bones. And then you have the women, in the Fertile Crescent who were sieving the grain with this thing and then start tapping on that bottom, and there's your frame drums. If you've never read Lane Redmond's When the Drummers Were Women, do that. It's a very, very good book. And then look at like the original peoples in the Amazon and how they take a bow, a hunting bow, and add a little gourd down here and turn it into a berimbau. It's an instrument now. So whatever you give people, we turn into instruments and we make music, and there's a reason for that. We are supposed to put that music and that vibration back out into the world. We're supposed to channel it through our particular physical system and put it back out into the world, whether it's actual music or just something that creates beauty and harmony. Something that puts that vibe out that, again, aligns those molecules, peace and calm and harmony and beauty. You have your music, whether it's musical or not, put it out to the universe. Oh, yeah. This deck, yes. Mwah. Right. Oh, arise. Music is what emotions sound like. Hell yeah. Cannot imagine a life without music. Okay, who's next? We just did you. 11, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 6. 4. Oh, hey, wait. 2, 3, and what did I say? 1, 2, 3, and 6, and it gave me 4 again. 3. Okay. The Herbal Tarot. Changing a weapon into wisdom. Yes, changing a weapon into beauty. Look at the cultures in the Caribbean where they've taken these old oil drums that were being left everywhere and pounded them into some of the most fabulous instruments. The school that my kids went to was an arts magnet school, and they had it was grade school and middle school. They had a steel drum band, and anybody could join it that had the time and wanted to. And oh my God, it was so wonderful to hear. Sound like no other. Okay. Oh, Luna, I'm so glad. I am so glad. Yeah, well, they're vibing for me tonight. I'm very grateful for that as well. All right. Whoop. Okay, there's our first one, the Hermit. Nine of Pentacles, the ubiquitous Nine of Pentacles, and the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, let's see. Now, you know me, I gotta get them all straight. Yeah, the other thing this Mercury's doing to me, I'm observing myself tonight, just saying and doing very strange things that immediately I think, why did I do that? Why did I say that? So yeah, I'm a very much a weirdo tonight. My freak flag is flying. Anyhow, Hermit, Nine of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles. Look at how the Hermit's looking this way, but she's looking at him. They have a similar vibe. Nine of Pentacles is about your own space, your own territory, your own garden. What have you planted? What are you growing? This is your close context. Here's my stuff. Here's what I love. And I just got rid of a whole nother passel of stuff that I don't need. And it's condensing down into, here are the things that matter to me, you know? Here are the things that I care for and that I will care for. I will be responsible. So second house again, your property, the things you own, and Saturn being responsible for those things. And so Nine of Pentacles is being in that garden. Look at the grapes, and dark grapes are the herb for this card. So having that grape arbor, and not only do we have fruit, but we have jams and jellies and things, and we have wine, and we have vinegar. Very important things. Then we have Hermit over here, which is way deeper. This is about your stuff and the external. This is about the internal. And shining a light and being, okay, then let me get something different from this dude. Hold on. Okay, showing the way is what I'm hearing, because I was sent back to that moon in the first reading from the Somnia. And it's like, okay, you know, deep diving about going down into the, yeah, we talked about that already. But the Hermit has been there, and he's here to show the way. He's holding the light out so that others can see. Whether they're drawn to him or they're following him, he's holding up the light and shining it on the path. This is the way. And then we have Ten of Pentacles over here. Wild yams. So again, we're talking about really important food crops for so many people in the world. We see the big castle. So this is about sort of your personal stuff. This is about the stuff that you share with everybody, your communal property, your community itself in a very real sense. Right, let's keep it going. Oh, goodness. Oh. Ah, you guys are so much fun. Pan, which is the devil in this deck, and Ace of Swords again. Same card, same place as the last tarot. So, on the one hand, Pan is talking about the enjoyment. You know, we've come away from the devil of Christianity and that connotation of evil. But what we see here instead is desire. And look at the flames around him, the flames of desire, which there's nothing wrong with desire and delighting in the physical senses and the sensual pleasures. What he represents is going too far in that direction and getting too attached to the physical and the physical pleasures that they bring. So the Hermit here is the reminder that it's not just the physical stuff, it's the spiritual as well. That we have to stay tuned in to our guiding light, you know, the light of our destiny, that guiding light that the Hermit holds up. And, you know, we are the Hermit, and we are the ones that the Hermit is holding the light up for. But the lesson here of the spirit is to balance it with the flesh. Spirit balanced with the flesh. And the Ace of Swords, cut that shit out. Look at where you are going into excess. Look at where you can't say no. Look at where anything, you feel that anything has got more a hold of you than you have of it. That's the devil overall says to me, things that have more control over you than you have over them. So, how do we deal with these things? You cut it off at the knees. You recognize, okay, here is the arena, and this is my danger arena. Every time I step into this, I lose. Like, I can think, hey, I got it together this time. But When I step into there, I lose myself. I lose my choice. I get taken over. And so the PowerPoint then, and saying I have no power in this arena, what is your power? I'm not stepping there. I will not go there. That's the truth of it. So the Ace of Swords is seeing things crystal clear and saying, I will cut off any connection to that. I will not step into that arena. And, the 9 and 10 of Pentacles here, too, talking about the physical, the sensual, the enjoyment of things. But Pan just takes it to excess. And then we have the 2 of Pentacles down here. Balance is everything. Balance in the physical is everything. So this is the third 2. We had the 2 of Cups, we had the 2 of Swords, now we have the 2 of Pentacles. Yellow Dock. And this is Lobelia, this is Chamomile. But this just says that we need to keep the physical in balance. I mean, there's nothing more to be said, really. I can talk about juggling of resources. Give and take is the phrase I'm hearing, give and take, because we do have our own stuff and we have communal stuff, so it's give and take, give and take. This is also representing those that take too much. Interesting, I'm getting like a little side message here about being very selective and wary about teachers when you're going to someone as a teacher and really asking them questions and not just, oh, okay, because there's a lot of people out there that are just not ethical as teachers. And there are a lot of great ethical teachers that just aren't your teacher. So, when that student's ready, the teacher arrives. Just don't get so attracted to the lessons that you substitute the teacher for the lesson. The lesson is the thing. The teacher is just a human like you, So yeah, little side lesson there. Okay. I think we've got it, eh? Second house dice too, right, Davia? Jesus. Okay. Flag flying, freak flag flying. You got it, Luna. You noticed that. Yes, when I put this stuff on the top of my desk, this is contact paper. Whoa, spin the heart. I made sure it was. Yes, I'm fussy that way. This is Mercury in Virgo conjuncting Pluto. All right. We have 1, 2, and 6. Who's up next? 1, 2, and 6. That's a 6. Okay. We've got. Okay. All right. Okay. It's hard for me to reach. I've had my arms glued to my sides because when I reach out, things go astray. So whenever I reach now, it just. And I'm going to keep the book handy because this deck changes things. Oh dear. Oh, you guys. Oh my God. Wait. Shit. Okay, hold on. Cooperate with me, please. Please, oh please. Okay. Now I've got some like way back here. Oh my God, they went a-shooting. These are like behind the bottom of my monitor. Oh my God. So we may end up with some reverses because I'm not going to look. Come on. One of them went under the foot of my monitor. Okay. I'm going to live on the edge and shuffle them again. Oh, Darcy, as soon as it happened, I was thinking of you, baby. Because I know you were laughing your ass off. There. I hope everybody else is laughing their asses off too, because you know what? Never miss an opportunity to laugh your ass off. It was taken off. Oh. Yes, so the day of twos. 140. Oh my goodness, Luna, thank you so much for being here. Sweet dreams, honey. Yes, I got them all. They all went that way, fortunately. Blessed be, sweetie. Sleep tight. All right. I'm going to focus here. All right. We have 10 of challenges, that's swords. We have 5 of challenges reversed. And we have 6 of visions. All right, visions are wands. I do believe, yes. No, spells are wands. Okay, spells are wands, challenges are swords, visions are cups, and boons are pentacles. All right. 10 of challenges. Boy, talking about the shit that hits rock bottom, talking about the stuff that needs to end with no satisfaction. Sometimes we can end things because we've had all the use out of them, and it's just, you know, we've played this to the fullest and it's time to move on. But then sometimes things have to end without resolution because it's just time for them to go. So, okay, and then 5 of challenges. I'm going to look up, because every time I pull this deck out, I promise myself that I'm going to work with it and focus. But do I? I know. Defeat, surrender, ruin, the death of a dream, give up and move on. That's it. Give up and move on. So I want to take a moment to say, send blessings to Delilah Mendoza, for purchasing this deck for me. So anyway, that, yes, the situations where there is no resolution, it's beating a dead horse, and, you know, look at his sword is broken, it's futile, and so it must end. There's nothing I can do about it, is what I hear there. 5 of swords, 5 of challenges. Fight you can't win. Some of the cards are really, you know, the traditional meanings, but some aren't. Yes, overwhelming odds, a fight you can't win. Choose your battles, live to fight another day. And I'm reminded now that this also does not have reverse meanings in this book. So, overwhelming odds, we can't just defeat. What is it that you're feeling kind of defeated about? What is it that where your gas gauge is just, you know, starting to dip below the E, that I just can't do this anymore? I really can't. It's not doing any good. How can I free myself? You know, you're ready to stand up and fight, but it's like I can't win. So the better part of valor, discretion is the better part of valor. Discretion is saying, can I afford to spend my energy on this? And the answer is no. Then we have 6 of visions here. So we're talking about memory. Ooh, looky here. So look at this. This is serious challenge in life. The parts of your life that are looking dark gray, that are just looking like, you know, depression. Oh no. This is just, you know, that defeatist, fatalistic, I just can't. But 6 of visions, look at the difference in the color here. Where do we go? Got to get away from here. Don't know what I'm replacing it with. Where do I go? I go to the past, and I remind myself of who I am, what I love, when I was in great joy, and then I can start to recreate that for myself in all the things that are around me. I can set up external physical things that will help me emotionally, that will help me feel really good. Now, I do that through smell primarily. Smell is the deepest sense. It goes to the earliest part of our brains. They call it the reptilian brain. It goes to this really beginning part of our brain, deep, 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 and smells that are attached to emotional things, for better or worse, get attached in a very deep place. So you can have something where you smell something and it's like, oh, it re-traumatizes you. But you can also say, here are the smells I loved when I was at my prime, when I was at peak of feeling joyful and empowered and having fun and in love with my life and everything else. What did things smell like around me? For me, they smelled like Neutrogena rain bath. Like 10 years ago, when things were so stressful, I started springing for the rain bath, because back when I was living on my own and just, I used it and I love the smell. Patchouli, Ganesh's perfume of a spring mist. I can't remember what number it is, but it's the spring mist sticks. Oh, smell so good. So yes, surround yourself, and with tastes and music. Here we are with music again. With music that can take you back to better times, that can help you feel hopeful. What is that song that you can listen to anytime at all and you will feel better? Earth, Wind, and Fire's That's the Way of the World is one of mine. So, when the adult is bogged down and is feeling hopeless and I'll never make it through and I need to just give up, let the child come and help. And looky, here's the Five of Boons. So here's the Saturn in the second house thing. Again, Saturn, yes, Saturn brings limitation. Quickly in Aries can bring a great deal of limitation to your resources, to your second house matters, to your enjoyment of sensual pleasures. Five of Boons says because we don't have enough money, because we are still dealing with fallout from the pandemic. I went to the store the other day and it was just shocked at what my 4 little bags of groceries cost. So this Five of Boons talks about the feeling of being left out in the cold. Okay, so look at what we're doing here. This dude's in the middle. Look at him again, because their wording is very good. This is Linnea Weatherstone. So, yes, choose your battles and live to fight another day, a fight you can't win. So this Five of Boons talks about crisis in terms of your financial resources, your physical resources. But look, at things are drying up because they are based in this just sense of rock bottom. But over here, we have the Six of Visions. So we are letting the inner child come out and play. We are letting the one that remembers magic take the wheel here. And Seven of Visions, we are saying, look at the harp. Seven of Visions says, okay, what am I going to do? This is saying spell work to me. What am I going to do with this? How do I turn this around? And not just the externals, but doing this magical work is going to turn this around. It's going to turn the mindset around, because you do feel like you're doing something. And spell work works immediately on you. It shifts your energies. It shifts your perspective, shifts how you're looking at things, shifts how you're feeling in your body, the energies you're feeling in your body. And then we have the Council of Animals, which is the Judgment card. Ooh. Okay, let's see here. So it's an either or. Judgment card has always had a very Plutonian feel of death and resurrection, but also of either or, and also of the inevitable. But the Council of Animals is here saying nature, you can't pull your bullshit on animals. They can tell exactly what your energy is. They will react to people whose energy is all fucked up, So you cannot pull one over on them and fool them that your energy system is different than it is. So here is the Council of Nature saying, really, how do you really feel? Have you addressed these things? What are you feeling hopeless and in poverty about? And could be actual poverty. And so we have this fight that you can't win. And the Five of Swords what challenges are, has always had a vibe to me of either or. That win lose. There's the either or again. That win lose mindset. And so we are called with this guy in the middle here to look at another way. How can we look at things as win-win? Not win-lose. Not utter defeat and there's nothing I can do about it. Okay, so can I flip this from win-lose into win-win? How do I do that? I come over to my magical self and I start imagining differently. Look at this green tracking here and all this gray here, and we end up in this green of the Council of Animals. If we bring ourselves into congruency with nature, as I'm about to kill a fruit fly. I've been trying for days. And we deal with our physical resources with integrity. You know, I think Saturn is integrity as well. It's because it's responsibility and accountability. So when we deal with our resources with responsibility and accountability and don't dawdle around with it, you know, when I know there's something to be done, I take responsibility and do it, take care of my resources, then we will be in balance with nature. We'll be in balance with our lives. We bring our lives into balance, right? And perhaps we won't be judged so harshly by the Council of Animals. Let's see here. Keeper of Challenges. That's the King of Swords. And look at the Ace of Boons. Look at this, you guys. All over here is this gray, you know? And the Keeper of Challenges, this is that cold logic, you know? And so that's beneficial. We can look at things very dispassionately, and we can add, you know, tick off the things, add up. Here's how this happened. Here was what this resulted in this and this. But the key here is to let the magical side take over. Ace of Boons is the Ace of Pentacles. We have a new physical beginning, but we have to dream it and we have to believe it. And we have to get away from the win-lose into win-win. There is enough for everybody. If I turn the battle into just my own effort, not against, but my own effort for, then things change. And also the Judgment card is one of the cards in the Major Arcana of change, and it is complete change. The entire situation changes because you change within. Time for that new start. All right? Rely on the magical self. Rely on the inner child. Feed that inner child with things that smell good and sound good and are fun to play with, and they will help you out. All right. Oof. Somebody got a card pickup. All right. A balance in the gray-green. Yeah. I mean, it was this side. I was thinking about that. Herbal Tarot, the Two of Pentacles here. What are we juggling? What are we balancing? You know. All right. Who's up next? We have number 1, number 2. All we have left. And don't give me a 4. Don't give me a 4 again. Don't give me a 5. 1 or 2. 1. Thank you. You just gotta be firm. Okay, Earth Magic. I have 2 of my patrons that are watching. Tavia, Roxanne, Catherine, I think you are. I can't remember. Oh, okay. There's our first one. I'm not doing a poll this month. I went ahead and purchased a deck. Brand new release, and it gets here tomorrow. Okay, we have Meadow, Vulnerability. Looky in the middle, Childhood, Innocence. Look at the green. Cave, Sanctuary. There's the Hermit again. Okay. Innocence and vulnerability. So innocence is just not bringing any baggage with you. Innocence is taking things at face value and not running them through the filter of cynicism and woundedness and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Defensiveness. Innocence is, doesn't matter how corny something is, it's taking delight in everything as it is presented, at face value, life as it is in this moment, because it doesn't exist in any other moment. And when we approach in that kind of innocence, it does make us vulnerable. Or it makes us vulnerable to people thinking, maybe we're slap-happy idiots. But it also makes us vulnerable because we are so open. Innocence keeps us open, but what do we do to keep from being taken advantage of? Look at sanctuary over here. Look at the cave. We keep our shelter around us. We know when to retreat. We stay grounded in the earth. We stay very connected with the bones of the earth. Ebb and flow, breath. Look at that. Okay, got that. They kind of stick together. All right. So ocean, ebb and flow. So there is that ebb and flow in, we can't go through our entire lives being complete babes in the woods. We have to draw on our experience and wisdom as well. What this innocence does is allow us to access that without the cynicism, without anger, without hatred, without all of those reactions to toxicity and trauma. So there's that ebb and flow of being fully innocent, and then the adult takes over too, and the adult comes in and says, yeah, but okay, you're pulling a fast one on me, please don't do that. And with that childlike innocence, you can do it sweetly with a smile on your face. You can set those boundaries. So there's the balance between letting life in its totality and sort of knowing when to temper that. So that's the ebb and flow. The tides rise and fall. And then we have breath in the forest here. So what's the ebb and flow? The ebb and flow of the breath. Your own breath, the breath of the earth. Breathing meditation. When you are confronted with stuff that triggers, and that your adult, your cynical, experienced, tough as nails adult goes, hey, I'm gonna, and sort of rises up to meet it, what do you do to sort of back off of that high? You breathe. You breathe, you breathe, you breathe. And that that feeling, the Tibetans call it Shenpa. And it's that moment where you're hooked, Somebody says something to you, right? And you can feel it. You can feel it rise in that second. What do you do? And this is where you have a split second to decide, because like this Aries here, you can react, hey, and go into fight mode. But what do? We breathe. So if we're approaching life with innocence and this childlike ability and vulnerability, we're just going to observe and keep breathing, And what meditation practice is about is giving you enough experience with balanced states of being that state becomes very accessible to you when the shit hits the fan, right? Meditation isn't for the time that you're meditating, when everything's perfect and the phone doesn't ring, It is for the times when everything's fallen apart at the seams. That's what meditation is for. So I can remember and have access to my breath, which gives me access to my energy systems. Because if you can keep, I don't want to use the word control. It's not control. It's not, if you can keep connected with the breath and able to direct it, it can really take you away from that. Now, there's a thing, I won't be able to do it because of my shoulders and because I'm too close to the camera, but Donna Eden is an energy medicine practitioner, and she's wonderful. And she has a movement for anger, for moving the energy of anger through. So moving that Shenpa energy through. And you stand, you plant your feet and kind of, spread your feet shoulder width apart, plant them, grip onto the earth, drop your butt down a little bit. So you're not in a big squat, but just drop it down a little bit, So you're in a power position, and then you hold your arms in front of you, elbows down like this. And then you take a deep breath, and while you take the deep breath, you swing both of your arms up and around so they're up like this, and your fists clenched. And then the out breath, you blow it out as you bring your hands down and point them straight at the ground. So it's, and if you do that 3 times, I guarantee you it's going to shift that energy. That's, when shit happens and somebody triggers this, it's not fun. Nobody likes that feeling. And so you can move it through. Okay, let's see. I'm looking at messages. All right. Right, Tavia. Meditation is practice for the real world. Absolutely. And then, looky, focus. Do you remember what this card was in the last one? Focus. Or in the last Oracle deck. It was the Sacred Visions, and that middle card was focus. So here we go again. So now we have a prescription here for approaching life in this way, keeping ourselves protected and yet vulnerable, protected so we can stay vulnerable. And then the ebb and flow of the breath. How do we maintain that? We focus on the breath and the ebbing and flowing of energies, and we also go to other teachers to find out how to work with our energy system. Highly recommend Donna Eden. I have a deck of her stuff, and it's not a divination deck, so I've never unboxed it, but I might, because it's a really good tool. All right, and crystals. And look at, we've got, a meadow, cave, ocean, forest, crystals. So we have all these environments here. And we have childhood in the middle, deep memory, and then we have crystals, things gelling. So another thing that happens when we practice and when we take that practice out into the real world is that our belief system starts to gel because you really witness it in action. And then it becomes very clear what you believe in. It's very easy to put your faith in something that you have used and works. So your faith can crystallize but not calcify. Crystallize in that it's clear, it has form, and it's buzzing with energy. Okay? And then we bring things into focus. Wow. All righty. Yep, Baby Joe, I do too. This was a set that I got from, I think it was Sounds True, of cards, and I think there's a CD and a DVD with it too. And then we have the Oracle of the Trees. I am so glad I made it here tonight. It's like when I'm struggling with just how awful I feel, and I was getting those, lightheadedness, and I felt a headache coming on, and it was just like, oh no. And then Tylenol kicked in. Sometimes it doesn't. This time it did. And my son took very good care of me too. He brought me a cold pack for my shoulder, and he took very good care of it. So, and it's one of those things where I know if I just get here and sit down, it'll be okay. So. All right, Oracle of the Trees. We have the family tree. Boy, got some themes here, huh? Guess where you get your value system from? Your family. The K-pop tree and the olive tree. Okay, these I have to look up. I mean, family tree I don't. This is your legacy stuff. This is the ancestry. And destiny, what you hand down. So we will take a peek just to get whatever other keywords I didn't think of. Important bonds, family, nostalgia, influences of the past, memories, and return to origins. So yes, like the tree card in the Lenormand decks, it's longevity, it's legacy, it's your roots, and where those take you. the kapok tree. Okay. The kapok tree description. Oh no. Description, that's what comes after the paragraph. Okay, achievement, success, ambition, good projects, tenacity, love that grows slowly. Okay, so achievement, that is Saturn. Success, that is Saturn. Ambition, that's Saturn. Good projects, yes, that would be structures under Saturn. Tenacity, that is Saturn. Love that grows slowly. Anything that grows slowly is Saturn. But love, this is the house of Venus. Yes, what do we love? That grows slowly. All right, and then the olive tree. Olive tree is diplomacy, solutions to conflicts, pacification, winning strategies, important feminine figures. So think about, the olive branch, meaning symbolizing peace and resolution and coming to an agreement and accord. All right. So achievement and success. All of these Saturn things that we work for. And look at how the family tree you're kind of looking at straight on, but the kapok tree, it's like you're way down low and looking at it and how it rises, so that the height of it. And then we've got this pyramid, Mayan, Aztec, Zapotec, I don't know, pyramid. Talking about that structure climbing to the heavens. What is it that we want to achieve? So again, similarly, our family tree, I'm going to take the next one. The tree of the dead. So we had the death card there. This tracks, but then the diplomacy. So we've got the things that have been left to us, the things that we wanted to hand down, and how that informs our ambition, what we are seeking after, what we hope to achieve. And then this is going at things with diplomacy. So if I look at the family tree and the olive tree here, are there situations where, in order for us to really get where we're going, where maybe we need to make peace with someone in the family tree, or we need to be an example to the family tree of how to talk about things without being pissed off, of how to fight fair, of how to have an argument rather than a fight. An argument is, no, but I'm seeing it this way. Okay, I get it, but I don't agree. It's that's an argument, and they can get heated. A fight is where you pick up every flaw that you can think of in that person and everything they ever did to you that was bad in history, and you start flinging it at them. And then you take away any chance of redemption, because it'll be, you're just like that. It's just your family and our, Ooh, very two familiar messages there. So maybe there's a way that you can do your work and then bring yourself back as an example of how to do things differently. All right, tree of the dead. Okay. Change undergone, breaking with the past, resistance to change, necessary endings, new opportunities, new beginnings. Okay, well, look at this family tree. And ambitions. So is there something here that you need to let go of? That, here was an ambition I had, and maybe something has changed, or you've gotten to a certain degree with it and gone, you know what, I'm not interested anymore, or I don't really want to take it farther than that. It's kind of like when I was in college, and I didn't start college until I was 31, I think, 31, 32. And every teacher that I had would yank me aside and say, what do you want to do with your life? Costume design, techie theater, acting, voice, every one of them. What do you want to do with your life? And I had great opportunities. And I took a class in costume design because I've always been interested in dressing up, And so I got into that class and I took the beginner class, which is a hell of a lot of fun. You know, doing these exercises of how to think in symbols. You think I had fun with that? And then I took the second costume design class, and you had to go to the library, which was an actual library with actual books and a card catalog. And we had these lists of all these names of little pieces of clothing from all the different periods in history, and we had to look them up, write out the definitions. And I said, you know what? I love dressing up, but I'm not that interested in clothing. So out went the costume design thing. And acting. I hate the audition process, and my body won't support that. Out that went. So, you know, looking at what in your past you have thought, oh, yes, this is what I want, and then maybe you've had to weed it out. It might say that there's something here that there's still some weeding to be done from your family tree, pruning the branches, from your ambitions. Let's look at the pomegranate tree. I'm sure this is about fertility and joy. Actually, this was the card it showed me when I said, how about it tonight? Wealth, passion, matrimonial bliss, maternity, money. Okay. So that feminine of, you know, sharing of abundance, nurturing, loving, gathering in, pulling close. So it's almost like the story, you know, the pictures, the story, things that have gotten locked in. If maybe we can, now I'm getting a vibe of going back to ancestral stories and really imagining the real people that they were, not just the story. Side story. I don't know how much this is relevant, but I'm going to tell it. When I was doing ancestry work, and if you've ever done any work on that, you discover that the golden discoveries are marriage certificates, death certificates, birth certificates, because you have parents' names you can track, you know. And my great-grandfather, my grandfather had a brother that was killed in an accident, a car accident. And this was, you know, was it back in the 1800s? I think it was, or the very early 1900s. But I'm looking at the death certificate, which he filled out. His name was Lincoln, and he was the one reporting the information. And it said father's name, meaning, you know, the deceased father's name. So he gave his name, and it said mother's name, and he gave his own mother's name, not his wife's name. And it's like that moment, I just felt the shock and the stunning, you know, effect of the events that had happened to where he wasn't thinking clearly. Mother's name, oh, this is my mother's name, you know. It's just like, oh, touched my heart. At any rate, looking at what is dead and dying, we had that same card in that same position before, and then clearing the way. If we clear the way of some of this structure, the weight of the past, the weight of ambitions that maybe have changed, your passion for them has changed, but you haven't changed those things, negotiating it out. What do I want to keep? What am I still interested in? And trimming, and then saying, here's what I love. Moving forward on the basis of love, what I love to do. And that's what that Saturn in the second house is, being responsible for the things that you love. Okay, this is Elm Tree. Wow, there's a lot to say here. There's like 3 pages before you get to the keywords. Justice, legal solutions, excellent results, recompense, arrival of a masculine figure. So we have the feminine figure and the masculine figure. So we just talk about excellent outcomes here. But they were also talking about legal outcomes. I'm going to read a little bit more about him. Alone among the ruins of an ancient stone building stands a solitary elm. The high school I went to was called Our Lady of the Elms. Kneeling at its base with its head bowed is a Knight Templar, wearing a coat of mail and a tunic with the characteristic red cross. The knight is leaning on his sword, the point of which is thrust into the earth. Next to him on the ground lies his helmet. Near the base of the tree is a chest overflowing with treasure and a great gleaming chalice covered in gold and precious gems. In the distance, on top of a high cliff, we see a castle with its watchtower dominating the lands below. Now, I will also tell you that when I went to the elms, all the elm trees were dead because of Dutch elm disease, so we called it Our Lady of the Stumps. Anyhow, sacred to Morpheus, a place of central importance in Celtic religion, also in Christian tradition. So it can assume various meanings depending on the question asked. It's tied to the concept of justice. So what is justice? What does justice hold? The scales. Justice is about balance. All those twos. So we come back here to balance. And the sense I'm getting from justice here is right, but not in the sense of correct or a sense of I'm right, you're wrong, but the sense of correcting a course. You know, we need to justify our course. We need to justify our margins, correct our course, bring things back into balance. This side feels weighty to me. This image is very strange. I think it's like ruins, Greek ruins or something. Yes, there's a temple. So I'm seeing here that again, trim the fat. Saturn in the second house. There's Saturn in the second house. Trimming the fat, making sure that you can bring things down to the things that you really delight in, and allowing yourself to fully delight in them, like that child, the innocence up there, just to be able to delight in your life and not to excess, like Pan was talking about. Saturn in the second house is anything but excess. It's tightening the belt, you know, doling things out. But then what you do have, that you can be frugal, discriminating, and still take full delight in the things that you choose to bring into your life. Full delight. And in not going to excess, here we go, balance, balance. Then we come down to elm tree here, and we can write our course so that it is our course and not just the, you know, the track that we've been driven down by our family legacy and ancestry. But we can correct our course in the now. Great thing to do during massive retrogrades is correcting the course. What didn't work last time? What fucked up since the last retrograde? What do I have to adjust? And that's what Elm Tree is talking about, is making those adjustments. So, how about it, y'all? Oh, hello, Lucy Bell. I hope I pronounced it right. Lucy. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging with me. And if you would please hit that like button. Hey, I see I've got a bunch of likes. Thank you. Hit the like button and think about hitting the subscribe button if you weren't already a member. Let's close our circle down. I'm so proud of myself. Okay, I'm gonna bring the bell into the middle. All right, so right now, just come back into your body. Bring your thoughts out from here, down here. Bring your awareness into your body, and let's give thanks. Gratitude to our ancestors, millions of them, seriously millions of them, whose existence resulted in our existence, in this unique mix that is each one of us. So thank you for my being on this planet. Thank you for all the positive traits that have come down to me. And thank you, but no thank you to the things that are not positive that came down to me. I set those aside. I choose not to focus on those. I step away. If it's something I can't utterly let go of, then it's just a matter of changing the focus, right? The card that came up twice for us, focus. But if it's something that you can entirely let go of, like the Death card and the Tree of Death card and the two Aces of Swords, something you can let go of altogether, let go of it now. All right? Trim. Saturn says trim, minimize. Saturn shrinks things, contracts things. So Saturn says let's shrink down the resources and the things that we have to be responsible for so that it's not too much for us. So it's no longer a burden. So, in great gratitude now, communicate whatever you want to your guides and guardians and gods and goddesses that you've called in. And then that outer ring that you pushed out, we're going to take, first of all, exhale, nice deep breath. And on the next exhale, we're going to let that dissolve. And just let it disintegrate into the universe. And what it's going to release is all of the wonderful, the beauty and the power of the blend of our energies. So that is a prayer that we offer as a group. Blend of our energies together, all the thoughts we've been having, all the wonderful things we've been feeling is now offered out to the universe. And then another exhale and inhale, and on the next exhale, send gratitude down into the earth. Thank her for her stability. Thank her for your physical being and the physical being of everything we own. Let any excess energy go down into the earth. Keep only what you need. If you feel highly energized, you might want to put your hands on the ground. You might want to eat something after. And then we just finally let all thoughts, all concepts, everything go. Just let it all go. Come back to yourself. And we're going to send it off with the bell, with music. And if you love the reading so much that you would like to support the channel, there are a couple links below if you'd like to send me a tip. Everything is absolutely appreciated. I'm so grateful for the fact that you're here. One more to clear everything out. Have a great week. Thank you, Roxanne. Everyone have a wonderful week. One more bell to send it off. All right, you guys, thank you so much for being here. I will see you next time. I love you all. Hold on. I will have another video probably tomorrow if my deck gets here in time. Until I see you again, take care, be safe, love everything you can, love your life most of all, and blessed be.